What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Zyba Games. The date is March 22nd, 2020. We're doing episode 7.
7.
Don't ask me how to spell episode because I don't know how to spell it, okay? We just discussed that off stream. So.
7. Shout out to 707 because he always likes 7. So
You know what? I like 7-7. Every time we kept seeing, you know what? This is gonna go off subject real quick. Sorry, I know we just started and I'm already gonna go off subject. But yesterday during your YMV
YMV
yeah. Every time I saw what was that one you played? The chick's super scantily dressed. You're like, ooh.
Oh,
I was like, that reminds me of 7-on-7. I don't know,
yeah,
or 7-7,
it was.
I don't know.
It was. Wait, what was the name of that? Oh, Missing Persons. I did the song "Words" by Missing Persons. That was the video. Yeah, 80s video. Yeah.
So I just kept every time I saw girls on the screen, I was like, oh, 7-7. He was like, he wouldn't say anything. I was getting mad. I was trying to just get it from him. Anyways, sorry for going off subject already. You guys, thank you so much for coming to the episode today. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure you guys subscribe, do what you can. Please comment. I don't know. Do what else you do on YouTube. Everybody does things on YouTube.
Yeah, they do.
Also, we're on all kinds of podcast platforms now. Make sure you guys check us out on those. We would greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
And officially live. We had a little bit of issues with it, mainly because we were waiting for iTunes. But
Yeah.
the website is live.
The website is live. It's a very simple, easy to use website. And I made it nice and simple, so you can go and you can just listen to the podcast if that's how you want to do it. You can listen or watch. They're video and we'll have video and audio, but right now it's just video. But either way, you can go there and listen to it and watch it.
I think we need to. Oh, I forgot. We need to put the Discord on there too.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I'll add that
later.
I'll add that
because it's really hard to put a link of characters that don't make any sense.
It's true.
I'm not gonna be like, hey, everybody, join our Discord, discord.gg/lowercase g capital S number 754 20. Just kidding. Anyways, let's introduce our host. We'll just go to the person that's been the most quiet first, Bobo.
Yeah, right, guys, how you doing?
Bobo's over there just like, these guys are just gonna go on their tangents, and we'll just let them do it, because that's what me and Yogomi do. And we have Yogomi.
What's up, everybody? I have been. I just woke up from a long nap, so I'm still waking up.
I feel you. I feel that, man. I'm not gonna lie. I just took a nap.
Yeah,
I'm DeeJayHerro, but most of you guys probably already know that by now. Since if you made it to episode 7 and if you're new, welcome. We love your face.
Yes.
And if you're still listening, welcome. We love your face. So, some things we want to talk about this week. We're going to be talking about, obviously, Xbox Series X specs dropped this week. PlayStation specs dropped this week. I get it. We're Xbox podcast, but we're going to be talking about PlayStation as well because, it's PlayStation.
Yeah, of course.
There's supposed to be a reveal this week for 4K 140 frames per second Xbox exclusive coming out this week. That's going to get revealed, not coming out, but you know what I mean.
You're right.
And Doom Eternal came out this week, but we'll talk about some of those things here in a bit.
Yes.
You guys, what have you been playing this week?
So I went back and played Ori, The Will of the Wisp. Went back, played that some more today. Actually, today, yesterday. I played it a few times this week. I just really, really like that game. I really like it. But then I also played, obviously I played Destiny 2, just trying to build my character up and get the season pass done. So I didn't do anything. I didn't play any trials this weekend or anything like that. I just did mostly just PvE grinding. And then I played the game that we talked about we're going to play this week, which was State of Decay 2. Oh, I also played some Forza Horizon 4 on some off time. So, yeah.
He said, let me try a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I was trying to get some gaming in this week.
What about you, Bobo?
I play a lot of games. I play Yuri, play A Combat, play some DHTK2, play a lot of games.
You did play some Division 2.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I tricked you into playing it with me this week. So, Bobo, you said you played Division. Did you enjoy it? I know we beat this. We beat it today, right? The expansion,
Yeah,
nice.
or not
I-
yesterday, the other day,
yeah.
2 days ago. Yeah.
It's fun. I'm not a big movie guy anymore.
You're not a looter shooter anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what I was gonna
yeah.
call what you are. You're digging them grinding games right now. I see you.
What are you grinding
7 Days to Die.
Oh yeah.
He's getting into
Yeah.
that. That's a grinder, man. You
That
wanna
is
play
a grinder.
Whew.
You know, funny thing about that game is that before I started streaming, I think I talked about my friend Zeus Wolf 45.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Um,
sure you did, but no.
Yeah. I think I talked to him a couple of podcasts ago. He's an IRL friend of mine, and he's actually the one that influenced me to start streaming. And that was one of the games that him and his crew played. And I would watch him stream that, watch his YouTube videos. I'd never even heard of that game before I saw him play it. And that's one of the games that was kind of instrumental in influencing me to be a streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
I never played it, though, but I watched it.
Yeah. Bubba, did you play anything else this week?
Yeah.
Played Rocket League, right? Did you say that already?
Yeah, well,
But we always play Rocket League. You know
yeah,
that.
guys
oh,
always play
yeah,
Rocket League.
yeah.
You know, you gotta give credit where credit's due. You know, greatest game
Yeah.
ever made. Nah,
Yeah.
not necessarily. It's a really good game. I love the
Yeah, oh,
intensity.
Game Pass too, so
And
yeah.
it's on Game Pass. So
It's true.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you that game has one of the craziest learning curves.
Yeah.
It goes from bad to, I'm not even gonna use good. We're gonna say like lower good, and then all of a sudden like you hit this next level and everybody's amazing, and you're like, what happened? Huh? But I was like, all of a sudden you're like, what?
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good game where like
Yeah.
you can. It's the ranked system in there. I feel like it's really fun to play. It just sometimes it's kind of bull, but you know it's whatever. Physics in a game aren't always perfect.
It's true. That is
So-
very true.
When I look at what games I've played this week, it's kind of like last week, I would say. I got on Bless for a little bit.
Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah, just for a little bit. I just I played a little bit, grabbed like my daily stuff, and then I think I went over to Rocket League because I think Josh was on. Shout out
Oh,
to
that's
Josh if he's listening to this. Our boy's back. We haven't got to talk to him for a long time. Miss his face, but
Yeah.
Bobo, we missed him, huh?
Yeah.
We used to play Rocket League with Josh. Always. That guy's dedicated. But
Always.
so yeah, I played Rocket League. I played Division 2. I played State of Decay 2. I played Warzone. I played a little bit of Destiny 2. I played some Bleeding Edge beta. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was kind of dipping in a little bit of everything.
You were.
And I think, but the game I think went the hardest on this week was definitely Division 2. I was playing with me and Doof have been playing it, and so we've been trying to, you know, get them builds going.
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
fun.
You said you did play with Doof?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
nice.
A lot the last few days.
Nice.
Like late at night. I don't know why so late, but you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. We got the time as well. Well, you're still
Yeah,
out
I'll
there
still
working.
work.
You're
I'm
still
working
out
more
there.
than normal.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's a little different
So-
for you.
Should we take a quick we'll call it a quarantine break where we talk about this we'll just address the elephant in the room, right?
Yeah,
Most of you
right.
guys, if you're lucky, you're still working. If you're not lucky, you're not working or you are still working. I don't know. You know, it depends on how you look at it, I guess.
Right.
But obviously, guys, we just want to all of you that are going through hard times and stuff right now, just to remember, man, like, I mean, we can't give you money, but we're here for you, right?
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
your friends, man. Like, we got you guys. You guys do need stuff. Let us know, and we can try to see what we can do. But we are just
We're
two
all trying to
people,
get through
or
this
three
together.
people,
Yeah.
4 people, 3
Yeah.
people, 3 people. Yeah, 3. But it's crazy, man. It's just I don't know. It's just every time you turn around, it's something else, you know.
Yeah. It really is crazy.
This-
It's never
Well, I
seen
feel like
anything
this
like
week, yeah, this week went a lot faster than last week. I felt like last week was like, dude, last week felt wild.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just felt like everything. It was like thing after thing kept hitting,
Yeah.
and now it's just like you just expect things to be closing.
Yeah.
Are you guys? How locked down are you over in Texas?
Well, I mean, like I said, I live in this giant building. I live in a really,
Yeah.
really, really big building, and so I mean, there's a store. There's actually a small grocery store in the basement, like on the very, I think, north side. Either way, there's this coffee shop. And there's also a wine bar. So all three of the places have. Well, not so much the store. The store you can go to, you just go down there and get stuff. They have basics, it's not like a full grocery store, but it's enough.
It's like one of those convenience stores at the bottom of the
Yeah,
hotel.
it's sort of like a convenience store, but it still has like decent groceries and produce and things like that. Like
Dang.
I could literally just eat there. I would never actually have to go to the grocery store. I could just get my food from there. That's how well stocked it is. But then there's stuff that I wouldn't be able to get. But then there's a coffee shop, and so what they've done is they've basically started delivering. So they're saying, hey, you can put your order in, and we'll deliver till like I think 4:00. And so they'll bring stuff up, bring stuff up to your loft, or you can go down there and they're not doing any like dishes. Everything is disposable. They're not doing any dishes or anything. I don't think you can actually even sit in there. I think you have to get it to go, which is good. I mean, it's important that these businesses adapt to this because. What's really interesting about this is I found out the company that I started working for was already working on a work from home program, like to have people work from home. But this is, I've talked a few times about the wake up call, but this is something that I think a lot of companies should be looking at because you're not just when you're figuring out how to have jobs or figure out tech. I mean, we have the technology right now. We've talked about just the technology of us doing this podcast. You're in Arizona. I'm in Texas. Yep. We're doing a podcast live right now. We could seriously.
Bubba's all the way on the other side.
Side of Arizona.
He's almost in California.
Right, and if we wanted to, now we don't have our videos in front of each other. Like I don't have you can't see mine, I can't see, but we could if we wanted to. All we have to do is.
I see Bobo's.
Yeah. We could if we wanted to, but and so the technology we're just doing a podcast for our own. This is for our own free time. Now. Companies, especially the industry that I'm in, the companies that I've worked for, they've had telecommunications systems like video communication systems, voice IP. They've had all this stuff for years, and most of the time they're just like, well, we just need to use it because I need to have a meeting with somebody in New York and I'm in Texas. I'm like, well. People are still having to drive to work. There's a carbon footprint that we're leaving, because not everybody drives an electric car. Traffic is terrible. Sometimes it's worse even coming home, and you're spending all that time in your car. I think there's a statistic about how much time you actually spend in your car trying to get to some jobs. And that is, for me, I don't know if for anybody else, but that is super stressful. Sitting in terrible drivers. For a while, I used to, not my current job, but my last job, every day I would take a photo or at least, I'd be stuck in traffic and how many times there was a car accident, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 car pileups almost every day on the way to work. Yeah. And so there's a lot more to address here than just keeping people safe from like sicknesses and viruses and germs and things like that. There's other ways that we could be helping not only each other but the planet by having a work from home type of program where, I think it's less stressful for everybody. Yeah. And the thing is like test it out. If people work from home and they're more productive and whatever that comes out to be, then boom, there's a lot of money to be saved. Energy you're saving for the buildings that you have. But then there's some situations obviously where people can't work from home, even in my industry.
I don't have a choice.
Yeah, right. So I say
my job literally is
you have to be
everyone.
But they should test these things out more than just instead of an emergency situation like this to say, hey, you know what? Yeah. This isn't so bad. And look how much money everybody is saving. The company is saving money. As far as energy use and all these other things, equipment or chairs and things they have to purchase, all kinds of things like that. The worker is saving money because I'm not having to spend it for. So just to give you an example of how much money I'll have to spend, because where I'm working now, I actually used to work out in the same area, but just on the opposite side of the tollway. Almost exact. It's a matter of fact, I take the same exit to get to my new place, except for I go west instead of I turn right to go east. And so they're basically right by each other, just across from the highway. But I take the tollway to get there. So monthly, forget gas, just forget gas altogether. Monthly, I spend roughly $200 to $250 to get back and forth to work just because of the tollway.
Yeah.
So that's money I'm saving. Then there's gas I'm saving, wear and tear on the car,
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's just so much less stressful to be able to wake up, grab your coffee, maybe have some breakfast, and then, plop down on the couch, grab your laptop, get your camera, have some meetings, have some phone calls, do the work you're supposed to do, and drop it in, whatever their version of Dropbox is or whatever. There's so many different ways. But the thing is this has been around forever. This isn't like new. This technology and all this stuff has been around for years. Back in 2008 when the market crashed, I went solo for about 4 years, and I worked in one office that whole time. Everything I did was from home. So, and that was back then, so hopefully this is a lesson in a few ways, not just because of the illness and the sickness and thing that's going on and keeping people safe, but also this a bit more stress-free environment of people that can, if they can, work from home or work in remote situations. That's just what I think.
It's crazy, man. Everybody needs to be careful. I mean, some people some people are overly panicking about it and stuff. And I mean, there's a reason behind that. I get it, right? Like, people are dying from this, but at the same time, I saw somebody post something. They're like, if you just lived right now, like you already had it, then everybody would be fine. Everybody would be a lot safer. It would pass a lot slower. It would be you'd stay inside instead of these. And I went to the park, dude, and there's like 20 people out there having a party right now.
Yeah,
just like down the street. I'm like, come on, guys. I
saw that. They're not being.
We got to be vigilant, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you got to try.
Yeah, I've seen some people that are just being defiant on purpose, with their social media. They're like, "This is America. I'm going to do what I want." And I'm like, "All right, so you're going to get what you don't want then." So,
coronavirus. Right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we do have some news this week. It's other than the specs releasing, it was kind of a slow week for news. There was a lot of specs stuff. We'll talk about that. We're gonna get all the other gaming stuff out of the way first, and then we'll start going to the specs, because that is gonna be a massive conversation on its own. So a dev today from Dynamic Voltage. Honestly, I forgot to look at what they've made. Do you know? And have you even heard of them before?
What's the name of the company?
Dynamic Voltage. Let me look.
I'm gonna look them up too.
Because. So basically, to tell you guys what they did, so Dynamic Voltage today, or not today, it was 2 days ago, I believe. They tweeted and they said, "Hey, we are gonna reveal a 4K 140 frames per second game that's gonna be coming out, Xbox exclusive for the Series X." I mean, yes, please, because we need to shut the haters up. You know what I'm saying? Says. I'll just read part of the article. It's from Windows Central. It says, last week, Microsoft and Sony unveiled Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 specification. This week, Series X is a minimum of 1.875 teraflops more powerful than Sony's machine. It should result in better visuals. While a few games have been announced for Microsoft's upcoming console, there's another one in the works that runs at 4K resolution and 120 frames per second. Says recently, Dynamic Voltage Games said it was going to unveil its first Xbox Series X exclusive. Well, we don't know what the project is. We do know that it runs at 4K 120 frames per second on the console. Hopefully this is going to be the norm going forward. We definitely don't want to see 4K 30 frames per second games in the future.
Yeah.
I feel like to an extent, right? To an extent, 4K 30 frames per second will be fine for certain games.
Right.
Like, what was that one? Dead Cells? I don't know if you guys ever played that one. It's a platformer. If that game, you can make it look amazing, but it doesn't need to be 120 frames per second.
Right.
But one thing we could always talk about too, though, is like I don't know if you guys have ever like done the side by side comparisons of like 30 to 60 to 120 frames per second.
Have you looked at their games?
What have they made?
So they have this game called, excuse me, Pirates of First Star. At first look, it's not something that looks like I would play.
Is it though? Are you talking about the one that looks like Muppets almost?
Yeah, it's like little characters.
I don't know.
I mean, that doesn't look like something
Maybe
that everybody's gonna want to see in 4K at 120 frames.
I think the thing is like that's cool about it is just like the fact that like it's time. We're like it's
Yeah,
here. You know what I mean?
that's
Like
true.
we're gonna start talking
That's
about
true.
this. Now,
Sure.
Like, and I bet that's their idea. They're like, let's just get ahead of the
Yeah.
wave and try to see if we can ride the wave
I can
because
see that.
this wave is about to be huge.
It's interesting. They don't have a lot of information. Okay, I see. I do see an Instagram, or something. I'm also trying to find like a website. I'm not finding a whole lot of stuff. There's not even a Wikipedia page or anything for the studio.
Huh.
But it doesn't.
Wonder what they do.
I'm on their. Let's see. Just updated their website address. So I'm on their website. And I do see this kind of cool space game, but I don't really.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing.
So hopefully this week we get news.
Also, they still have a Gmail account instead of like a dynamicvoltagegames.com account. So that's.
So maybe they're like a 4-person studio.
Maybe. But still, I'm one person. I still have a
They
Yogomi.
only made like 2 games.
2 games, huh?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, let's just hope it's
Let's
cool.
hope. Yeah.
You know, and maybe it's Game Pass. I don't know. Maybe it's Game Pass something that we're like, all right, cool, I'm gonna play it. Bro, I'm stoked for E3. Period. I'm gonna say period because E3's not happening, but
Right.
the period of E3, man, it's gonna get quick. It's gonna get wild quick.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Are you sure?
what?
I think like they not gonna have any games for E3.
Them? Oh no, I'm just saying E3 in general. Like I'm just
Oh.
saying like all these games, all the announcements and stuff is what I mean.
Alright, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I think what my train of thought here. I'll follow you on my train of thought, right? So you said that I'm like they're gonna reveal it next week, and I was like, it's like Game Pass exclusive, and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, and then I started thinking about E3, and I was like, yeah, dude. When you see those come up on the screen, you're like, so I'm talking about. Speaking of Game Pass, have you guys seen Xbox Game Pass perks? Yay!
Yes.
You got me. You want to read that one? You got that? You got that?
Yes,
Okay.
I have it right up here in front of me, right here. All right, so we are at. Hold on,
It
let
says
me find
today
it.
we're
Wait,
announcing.
where do I see that? Oh, there it is. There it is.
Scroll
There it is.
down.
Okay,
Yeah.
today we are announcing Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Perks, a new exclusive member benefit starting March 18 that provides even more value for our Ultimate members. When we launched Xbox Game Pass in 2017, we did so with the goal of creating a membership that provides the best value in gaming, which I agree that it does. And our members have told us that they love discovering new games, but they also want in-game content. New in-game content. So through perks, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members will now regularly receive new benefits, including DLC, in-game content, and more, all free and included with the membership. So that's awesome.
Dude, that's freaking dope.
See if
Finally.
so. Wait, see
I was
if
waiting for that.
Smite.
I mean, I don't know if it's gonna
World of
ever come,
Tanks.
but
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
a free sub on Mixer if you're a Game Pass Ultimate
Oh, yeah.
subscriber.
PSO,
That'd be nice.
accessory part. This is stuff. They have stuff listed already. Wait, what's this? A CF3 Ori pack?
Yeah. You haven't seen this yet? Do you play Sea of Thieves?
I haven't played Sea of Thieves in a while. I think we talked about that a couple podcasts
we did.
ago. Yeah. I
Bubba,
haven't
have
played
you
it in a
seen
while.
the?
But
have you
I've
seen
watched
the
a
Ori
lot of
pack
people play it.
for Sea of Thieves?
No.
So you'll get was it the mask, right? You get like an Ori mask, you get an Ori sails. There's 2 other things that are Ori related that come with it. I can't
That's
remember all of
cool.
them. But it's like you get like the big Ori head like on your sails.
It's from the same studio, right? In that same studio or something like that? Wait. I know that. Wait. Hold
Nope,
on.
I don't know. I just got totally lost exactly who the freak made Ori. Why don't I remember now?
Because
Oh,
Rare.
they're not. No, they're not. They're not Xbox Studio. Remember?
Oh, that's right. It's Moon Studios, right?
Yeah.
And
there you
then Sea of Thieves is Rare,
go. Yeah.
right? So I guess they're just collaborating. I guess that's what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Well, and then so Smite, you get 5 free gods. World of Tanks, you get 3 free tanks. And Fantasy Star Online 2, which had a beta this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get an Xbox accessory pack. It's a really bright green Xbox bomber jacket
Oh,
that your
nice.
person wears. And it looks cool. I mean,
Huh.
was there something else, Bobo, or was it just that for Fantasy Star?
No, yeah.
I think that's it. Once again, guys, see all these things we're talking about. We'll put links for it down in the
Yeah.
description so you guys can all see it. But yeah, you know what? Let's just talk about Fantasy Star Online. Bobo, you got to play some of this week. How was it?
Yeah.
Were
Say,
the servers good?
oh yeah, everything good, and yeah, pretty good.
Dang.
I don't say that much, but
Yeah, man. I want it. There's too many games, bro.
There are
And
a
I
lot
never
of
thought I'd
games.
ever want to have to say this, but there's
Yeah.
too many games I want to play
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah. It
That's
really
almost,
is.
I don't want to say annoying, but
That's
it
why
feels annoying.
you know, props to those who ended up being able to be full-time, you know, video game players because man,
Oh yeah.
so much you have the time to do it.
It's like, let's play games all day, every day,
Yeah.
and make money.
Yeah. That'd be nice. It would be nice.
It would be a good life, right?
Yeah.
So another thing happened this week. It kind of came out of nowhere, except for it didn't, because everybody kind of knew it was coming, but they didn't announce it. And then also they're like, "Boom, it's coming out!" Resident Evil 3 demo.
Yeah.
So Resident Evil fans can get an early taste of the upcoming survival horror game Resident Evil 3 with an action-packed playable demo starting this Thursday, March 19th for Xbox One. That's already happened, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So step in the boots of legendary heroine Jill Valentine as she teams up with Carlos Oliveira and the Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service. That is a lot of big words and like hard words.
That
I
is
just
a
said in a row.
lot. That is Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service. Yeah, no wonder they named it UBCS. That's jeez.
And then it says to evacuate civilians from crumbling Raccoon City. I don't play horror games at all, or Adrenaline, or any of these games, but I watch people play this.
I did too this week. I watched a few people play it. It looks
I was
so
like,
good though.
Yeah, I was like, dang.
It looks so good.
Bobo, you would get on this, wouldn't you?
I'd play it. I'd
What
play it in
game?
Halloween, October. I'd play
The
it.
RE3 demo. Resident Evil 3.
You
You know you can play that right now?
No.
Dude, you can play that right now. Why? I thought that would be like one of the games you'd get on.
I don't play K games.
What? I feel like you would vibe with scary games though, Bobo. Like I
You
see you.
kidding me? I'm super fat.
Fair. Fair. So it looks good from what I hear. It's 4K 60 FPS on Xbox, and it's close to that on PlayStation. But
Yeah.
don't say that to a PlayStation fanboy right now, because they're, yeah, you know, well, it's a good time. I'm just gonna take it right into it.
Yeah.
Man, it has been a week for specs news.
Yeah, it
Oh
has.
my gosh.
Yeah, it has.
We record the podcast and then boom, Phil Spencer
All that
thinks it's
stuff
funny
came
to do
out.
it again.
Mm-hmm.
Man, maybe we need to change the stream to Monday or something. Jeez. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm gonna keep it on Sunday. I like Sunday nights. I feel like it's a good time.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
But what, man? So I'm trying to say how. Let's just read the specs, and then we'll kind of talk about some of the things that
Okay.
are a little deeper on the specs that you don't just see on the spec sheet.
Right.
So we'll just go through the Xbox specs first, right? So the Xbox, or maybe we'll just bounce back and forth, and I'll be like Xbox, PlayStation.
Yeah. Let's go back and forth.
So right away, Xbox Series X processor is going to be 8-core, 3.8 gigahertz, custom Zen 2 CPU. And Sony's coming back with like pretty much close to this exact same
Yeah,
thing,
I
right?
think the difference there is
3.5.
Yeah.
This is where one of the things, this next one's one of the ones where people are losing their mind over.
Yeah.
And it's really funny to watch because like people are like, Sony's better, Xbox is better. You're like, dude, chill out, dude. Like, so somebody made a good point. I'm gonna take their quote, right? They're like, okay, listen, just because you have a console doesn't mean you're in an elite squad or a club that other people can't join. I was like, this is a $500 box. He said, you don't get a special jacket for joining the club. You're literally spending money. You're giving money to the company. Like,
Right.
You're not better than anybody else.
Exactly.
But gosh,
yeah, but
it's
I don't
wild.
get it.
So
Yeah.
when they talk about the GPU, they're saying Xbox is running at a 12.155, 52 teraflops, 52 cubic units at a 1.825 gigahertz custom RDNA 2. Now Sony did. Mark Cerny came in, right? He did. I don't know if any of you guys watched that thing. Bubba, did you get to watch any of that? The PlayStation stream that they did?
Yeah.
Dude, okay.
I don't want to. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I don't normally watch PlayStation, but I was actually really interested in this because it was like out of nowhere. They're like, Sony PlayStation 5 reveal, all this, everybody come. Like they make it sound like this is gonna be this crazy like hype thing. Like they tweeting this out like on the PlayStation page. Like, so when you read that, what do you think? Like you think like any reveal stream that you would do, right? Hype, like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like, man, we got 10.28 teraflops with 36 cubic units. No, dude, we got Mark Cerny. Now, I'm not hating on Mark Cerny. He's
No.
like he's a freaking genius, all right? But
You know what they call him? Some people call him Uncle Dana Carvey because he looks like Dana Carvey.
okay, yeah, I'm vibing that. I'm vibing with that, dude. And it's just like, hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about PlayStation 5. This is how a hard drive works, and this is how a solid state, dude. It was. I got up, so I don't normally wake up early, right? But I wake up like right before work and I go to work because I stay up way too late every time. But I get up and I'm watching this. And I am legit falling asleep. I'm like trying to watch it in my bed. I'm like, oh, I'm like dazing out, dude. I was like, and then like I just gave up. After a while.
Yeah.
couldn't do
You know, we're not the only ones. I've watched a few different videos, you know, game ranks, especially, and they all had the same reaction. They were just like, what? You know?
Is this?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It was not. Don't get me wrong. Now, if I was in the mood for like learning, and there was actually a part when I joked about the hard drive and the solid state stuff. When he talked about it, actually like I was super into it. I was like, wow, that's actually really cool. But like monotone, just
It was not exciting at all. And maybe because maybe the reason why is because it was nothing but specs, you know?
yeah, and when it was supposed to be, so the GDC was supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that was supposed to be at GDC.
Right.
But GDC didn't happen. And so they're like, well, we're just going to give it to the public, right? But they advertised it wrong. Like, you don't advertise that as like a big thing. Like, you're like, hey, we're going to, or what they should have done is just revealed the specs that morning. Like, here's the PlayStation 5 specs.
Right.
Watch Mark Cerny do this later for a reveal stream. It was like, talk about deeper dive into the specs. Or
Yeah.
So, anyways, so Sony's coming out with a 10.28 teraflops, 36 cubic units at 2.23 gigahertz custom RDNA 2. So the teraflops is less, right? And it's not a lot less, but it's whatever. It says it's faster with the cubic units. But what they don't talk about is that this is a variable rate.
Right.
So what they're saying is that is the numbers that it peaked at.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox does not say that they peaked at that.
Right.
So it sounds like you're stretching your numbers a little bit to make it not look as bad.
Right.
So from everything from like the Digital Foundry and stuff that I'm reading, like that I read about it, it's still putting it at like the 9.6 or 7 that they were putting it at.
Sure.
That everybody was leaking. But
at the end of the day, people, you know, you can't get caught up in numbers like that, right?
Yeah.
You can't get caught up in numbers because look at the Switch. The Switch is not powerful at all, but it's still killing the game, right? It's doing its own thing the way that it does it. And I mean, they may have a few games that are ported over to the Switch that, you know, that you can play on other systems and they may look better. But Switch, the Nintendo is known for its own IPs and its specific games that make it what it is, right? So
that's Nintendo's motto. I mean, they take
exactly.
That. Like, when I read that book, that Console Wars, it's like the name of the game is the game.
Right. And the thing is that
Because it is.
PlayStation is still going to have the exclusives that Xbox is not going to have, and they're going to look absolutely amazing. Those numbers that we're looking at aren't going to matter. Nobody's going to be like, well, this would be so much better if it was 12 teraflops instead of 10. It would be so much better, but I guess I'll just deal with it since I have a play. Nobody's going to care about that, you know, when they're playing Spider-Man, 2 or whatever the next, PlayStation exclusive comes out. It's going to look absolutely amazing with this kind of power. And it's not really going to matter. And I think that's probably why I feel like they just felt like they had to respond. And it was kind of poorly done, you know. And I think they felt like they were forced to respond because of it. And I don't know. I would have just kept it secret if I was them. Just kind of like, no, just wait. You'll see. Yeah. We're PlayStation. Come on, man. You know the vibes,
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw these other numbers out real quick. Let's make it so we can get to the next thing.
Okay.
So they talk about the memory, 16 gigabyte DDR6. Both of them are running that. Xbox is a little bit faster, but it's whatever. Memory bandwidth, we'll just say they're pretty much the same. Xbox can go at a higher rate for more and a lesser rate for less, but PlayStation's smack dab in the middle and theirs stays at the constant rate. Internal storage. So this is one thing that we'll talk. I'll come back into this in a second. But the internal storage, 1 terabyte custom NVMe SSD for the Xbox with the 825 gigabyte custom NVMe SSD for PlayStation. So we can just talk about the speed of that, right? So people are talking about the solid states. I don't know if you guys have gotten any like the talks about the solid states for Xbox and PlayStation. You seen any of those, Bobo?
Yeah.
I kind of like the expandable thing it's kind of cool. I mean, it's something else you have to buy.
Yeah.
But I do like that but they're exclusive to the system though.
Yeah. So Yogomi's saying that, like I said, it's a proprietary, right?
Yeah, proprietary.
So, Seagate has the exclusivity. We don't know how long it is. It might not even actually be just like it might be for like a couple months, right? Just on the the expandable hard drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
But PlayStation's is you can buy it. You can just go buy one. But the problem is it has to be the same speed and it has to be a 4.0.
That's right.
Which are really expensive right now.
Mm-hmm.
So people's arguments are like, this proprietary through Seagate's going to be really expensive. But people aren't putting it together that Sony's is going to be really expensive. And it's got to be approved by Sony too. So I'm like,
Yeah.
And I really don't think it's going to be that expensive. I think you're going to be able to buy a 1 terabyte external, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Xbox, whatever. And my guess is it's going to be $199 because that's about what a 1 terabyte external solid state costs you anyways right now. So I guess I just don't see the argument people are having, especially at that speed. So that's one of the things. So I hear a lot of people like judge their decision on who's winning, right, based on that alone. Right. They're like, Sony's got the advantage. I mean, look at this, look at their speeds. I'm like, I disagree.
Yeah.
Sony's just using regular SSDs,
right?
And yes, they're gonna be fast. Xbox, you think they're just gonna put a basic SSD inside a little box and they're gonna plug this in the back?
Something that's optimized for the performance for that
thing is gonna slap, dude.
Yeah.
It's made for the Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done that. They could have just done regular SSDs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They have the option, but they was like, hey, let's see. I'm sure they're thinking, how can we get the best performance out of an SSD? So let's do something that's more custom.
Well, I believe it's gonna react faster to the velocity that they're using, the velocity architect that they're using in there. So it's gonna be able to read faster. It's gonna be able to do all those things faster. So, and we talked about this too last week. Microsoft's not really a hardware. Like that's not what they focus on, right? They kill it in the software game.
Yeah.
So do you think that they're gonna not put a crazy software system to make that thing do amazing things? But then they're saying too, and people are like, well, this is the speed that it's gonna run at. You're like, dude, I think that thing's gonna run faster.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be different than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing too, people are talking about the numbers. They're like, oh, imagine your game on Sony's gonna load. It's like a 50% time faster. You're like, dude, it's like on Sony, your game's gonna load in 1 second. On Xbox, it's gonna load in 2 seconds.
But there's also a lot of variables you got to consider, right? Like the developers still have to make the games
Yep.
that perform at these levels, right? Because they may not make the games. They may make some games that don't really need to use this much power. I think
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
basically they're saying, hey, here's a giant room for you to use. And some people are all like, well, I just need this little corner over here. And then some people are like, I'm going to need like probably 85% of this, you know? And
He's like,
then,
I'm
yeah.
gonna take this big old block and
right.
pack. I was
And then
like,
if
we
you've
got
got
really
a,
big booth.
right. If you've got a broom closet, I'm going to need that too. You know what I mean? So that people have to consider that. It's not like every single game is just going to be, you know, because not every game is going to need it. So it does also depend on the developers.
I like that a lot. I feel like that's the big thing about all of this news, right? It's not like our console's bigger and better.
Right.
It's we have the ability and the room for you to do whatever you want.
Exactly.
We got your rate. We got your variable rate shading. We got your.
Mm-hmm.
I just totally lost the word I want. Ray tracing. There
ray
we go.
tracing.
Jeez.
Yeah, there we go.
I was like light shading. I was like, no, it's not. I mean, it is light shading, but it's ray tracing. Is the word I really wanted.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. And they're both still saying holiday 2020, by the way.
It's still a great time to be a video game player, though. No matter which one you choose, you're not gonna lose. You know what I mean?
I don't want to go to this, but I do. But do you think these are gonna get delayed?
So I think possibly it might be because of everything that's happening right now. They say holiday. I mean, they still say holiday.
Yeah.
What if they see? I've heard a lot of people talk about it too. What if they take the Nintendo route on this, right? So you don't release a lot of supply because then it creates demand.
Right. That's true.
I think I joked about this last week. Actually, I was like, I'm gonna pre-order 2 Xbox Series X's like at the instant they announce it, and I'll probably sell one of them.
That's true. You did say that. But there's also
imagine that they turn the turnaround on that. They sell it for like $1,200, like, you know.
But there's also a few things that have to be considered too. Is the economy right now, because this whole thing has really hurt the economy, you know, and you know, there's just something. It's not just a matter of them not having a product to sell, having enough product to sell. It's just like, will people have the money to buy it? Who knows? I mean, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm being a Debbie Downer. I'm just saying we may bounce back from this better than before. I watched some news and some articles today that talked about like how this breakdown could come out the other end with us all in a better place because of people seeing what could happen and making some changes in place. Kind of like I said, my company was working on a work from home thing before this happened. Yeah. So, but that still doesn't address the fact that there are people right now that aren't working and that are losing money or can't make money. There are businesses that aren't making
closed,
money. They're closed down. Yeah. So it still doesn't address that. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. This might be quite a bleak.
Well, you know what's really cool about all this, though? I mean, you say all that stuff like it's bad, and it's cool. I mean, that's bad too. But if you guys are on Xbox, you don't have to go buy the new Xbox.
That's true.
Because we don't have Xbox Series X isn't going to have actual exclusives for 2 years.
That's right.
So you got an Xbox One X, which Yogomi missed the sale.
I did. Saw that.
Did you see that sale this week, dude, on Xbox Series X?
I was trying to be good and not spend money before I started my new job, and then I was like, oh, I wish if I had known, I would have done it, though. I know I would have.
Did you see that, Bobo? That sale they had?
Jeez.
Dude, they sold it for $199.
Yeah.
On Microsoft's website, not eBay, not Amazon. No, this was like Xbox is like, yo.
I got to keep my eye on that, man.
Now, the funny thing is, though, is they actually did that right when Sony announced their show.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They're like, yo, watch this.
Well, I can tell you which one I think was more exciting. I can tell you that right now.
Well, and Xbox, I feel like they did it right, though. They revealed it right. They're like, here's the specs on a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. Sony's like, we're going to have this 52-minute talk by Mr. Cerny. Sorry, I had to change it to the voice. So another cool thing that came out with this whole same thing, right? So a lot of the Sony haters were like, I heard from game developers that Xbox doesn't have a dedicated audio processor, so it's actually going to be using about 3 of the teraflops to do the audio for games, and it's gonna. I heard from some developers that's gonna really hurt with what they can use for the game, and it's gonna end up putting Xbox less powerful than the PlayStation 5. I was like,
Wow.
what? I was like, what the heck? And so I can't remember the exact day on this tweet. I'd have to look it up, but it was like, I think it was Thursday or Friday. It was one of those days. So it says, ever since, this is Windows Central's article, they're going to quote a tweet out of it too. So it says, ever since the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 specifications were revealed, there's been a slew of information floating around. Haters, we'll just put it that way, right? Some influential gaming figures, haters, have gone on to say that the Xbox Series X doesn't have a dedicated audio chip, a feature everyone who previewed the device confirmed it had, and the PS5 somehow can utilize custom Xbox Series X features. I don't understand that statement.
Yeah.
But maybe there's something deeper into that. But I read the whole article and it doesn't. But wait, no, it's fine. It says, well, both of these are untrue. First and foremost, Microsoft's James Stannard, who works on graphics optimization and engine architecture, said that Xbox Series X has a dedicated audio chip, just like the PS5. The theory that somehow the lack of an audio chip will utilize 20% of CPU power is untrue. And then his tweet basically, it doesn't go too crazy into that, but that's pretty much all the tweet says.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know where you guys are getting this from. He's like, but yeah, no. It's just, man, it is blowing my mind. Like, dude, like people are taking these video games like they're politics.
Yeah, it's
like,
super
dude, like,
weird.
This doesn't even affect your life, dude. It's just a console.
It's so crazy how that it's ironic how these are things that are supposed to really be meant to bring us together. You know, like let's get together and play a game, and people still find a way to separate to separate themselves from somebody. Like, dude, you did. It's really silly, but
well, and I think I talked to you too. So there's probably like a good solid group of like 10 main haters for like Sony, like Xbox haters, whatever you want to call them, ponies. And then like there's a good group of Xbox guys, but like they're super like they understand. They're like, yeah, dude, Sony won last generation. Like, they got really good games. Like, but right now, power up front, Xbox is winning. Like that's all we're saying. And everybody they're like, oh, dude, it's so funny to watch, dude. Like I don't even comment on the video. I just like watch them. I'm just like, man, these guys are nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like personal attacks too.
Yeah, when it gets down to the personal attacks, and then you're just like, you know, like, why is it so hard to just have like a intelligent conversation about it? Like, you know, let's talk about why you're like, well, the reason why I like the PlayStation 4 is so for one, I think the control, blah blah blah, and the ergonomics of the, you know what I mean, and then the processor, and then you look at if you really compare their list of exclusives, blah blah blah, it's never that. You know what I mean? It's always like, you're an idiot. I'm right. You're wrong. You know,
I don't want to discuss. I just want to tell you.
Why is that so difficult? I don't understand. Just to have the conversation, you know, it seems like it would be a lot of fun. Maybe even make friends, you know?
That's true. Dude, I was like, how dope would it be? I know it's not gonna happen. But like there's this guy's name's J-Dub. I don't even want to give him the credit, but like he's one of the main Sony like ponies. Like, well, yeah, let's use pony. I like that word. He's like one of the main ponies, whatever. And then I want to get Cold Eastwood. I want to get them together in like a Discord call, and I want to hear them just go at it, dude. Because like Cold Eastwood's super cool, bro. Like he is. I just like I watch his videos on YouTube all the time. And he's like he'll do really good like news articles, but like he's always like very level headed. But like, gosh, dude, J-Dub, dude, he is just. I want to fight you. I hate you. Sony all the way. I bleed blue. I get it, like I bleed green, but like I know that Sony had better games.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, like I said, I get every console. So whatever the major console is, I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna play the games on it. So now I will admit,
Switch too. Go ahead.
I will admit, I play Xbox more than I play anything. I will admit, which I never would have guessed that would be a thing, because I was so hardcore Nintendo back in the day, especially during the GameCube days. I loved the GameCube. It was one of my favorite systems. But Xbox Live changed everything. Everything about how I thought about video gaming and playing games and what was my favorite system. So yeah, it changed the way that I buy games in systems.
I think most of you guys can agree with me on this, dude. Like it's not even like necessarily where the games are at completely. It's more of like where your friends are at.
Yeah, that's what it
Like,
is.
that's what it comes down to.
Exactly
Like,
what it is. That's exactly what it is. That's where my friends are.
I've got an amazing PC with a 2080 in it, like 7700K sitting in there, dude. This thing is a monster, right?
Yeah.
But I play Xbox games.
Yeah. Same. And I'm a Mac guy, so I don't get to play a lot of computer games.
Yeah, but I buy a lot of these games on PC, and then I'm like, you know what? Like, I like it better on Xbox. Like, everything's just right there. Like
It's true.
That's for gaming. This is for video optimization. Like,
It's true.
that's pretty much all I use my PC for now.
It's true.
Or exporting videos and trying to do all that, because that's dude, I didn't realize how not fun that is. Yeah, your PC's like asleep, dude. Like, and also you have to like wake it up from hibernation to try to export a video.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing Ali's videos and they're coming out like almost 4K at like 60 frames per second, and it is like, wow,
Yeah.
like what's happening down there? Like, I've never heard that they make that sound.
Yeah, it takes a lot of processing power. You know, it takes a lot of processing.
Yeah, but in the end, I mean, people just. I get it. People enjoy it, and some people do it for fun. But some people, man, they just like, man, you just live life, man. Just have fun, dude. This is cool, man. We got all these consoles, like one console and coming out with better stuff. Like the fact that Sony stretched their number for their teraflops, like that's cool. Like that's telling them what does that tell you about the next console after that?
Right.
The pros, like, yo, they're not gonna mess around on the next console.
Exactly.
And guess what? Xbox ain't gonna mess around. It's gonna get wild, dude. Like anything that anybody does console wise isn't hurting you.
No.
It's literally creating a better future for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, we all win. Especially in this, because this isn't politics, right? We're not talking about things that are actually gonna change your life.
Right.
This is like I said, $500 box. Literally has plastic on the outside of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody calm down.
Over. Sorry about that, guys. Bubba's feeling it. Bubba's just in there, just like DJ. Bubba. You need to calm down, DJ. So let's talk about something Bobo knows more about than most of us, because he's beat this game. We're going to go right into our Game Pass Game of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
That we played State of Decay 2, Juggernaut Edition.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read some just quick stats on this, and then we'll break it down. And we're going to make Bobo break it for us, because I feel like Bobo's vibed that game. Like, see, Bobo, you play these survival zombie games. That's why I feel like you would like Resident Evil.
I know what that is. In your house.
Was it Nemesis in Resident Evil 3?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it? No, it's a guy. Is it Nemesis, or is it that dude's name? Or the dude was 2.
2.
So this is Nemesis.
What's his name?
X.
Mr.
X. Yep. Okay. I feel you. Fine, Bobo. I get it. I don't like scary games either, but I like watching people play scary games, especially when they have like soundboards where you can like really make them like poop and stuff.
Yeah. So for you in your house, and you only see like pots in the room. Yeah. Right. And then you turn around and something higher in your face. I don't like that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I remember when I was little. It's the first time I swore in front of my parents. I was playing Halo 1. And the Hive, dude, you got those little
oh,
the
yeah.
little like leech things, dude, and they like, cause you don't, they're on the ground, you can hear them, but like you're just kind of like, we're playing co-op Halo 1, and it jumped up in my face, dude. I was like, I was probably like 10 still, but I was like, I guess I wouldn't say it's a bad word. I was like, shit. Like, yelled at. He's like, what did you just say? I was like, my bad. He's like, it's all right. He's like, it just caught me off guard that you said that. I was like, yeah, my bad. I'm not even that little at that point, right? But like, we were raised not to swear.
Yeah. Same.
Not so much that for me.
Yeah. We were raised not to swear either, but when I get into the car and drive in this traffic, there might be a few that come out.
I can see Yogomi getting fired up. Dude.
Oh.
I'm about to whip somebody.
That's a whole. I can make a podcast just on that alone.
So some stats real quick on State of Decay. This is the saddest part of all the stats.
Yeah.
On Metacritic, they have a 66.
Yeah.
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 The game coming out the door was not ready to come out the door.
Yeah.
But so it says State of Decay 2 is an open world zombie survival video game developed by Undead Labs and published by Microsoft Studios. It is a sequel to the 2013 video game State of Decay. The game was released on May 22nd, 2018 for Windows and Xbox One. So obviously that game came out a while ago, but why we picked this game was because of the Juggernaut Edition.
Mm-hmm.
So Juggernaut Edition added a new platform and cross-platform support. The new platforms were Steam and Epic Game Store. With Juggernaut Edition, it added new platforms and cross-platform support. Just totally lost it. So it was like Steam and Epic, right? All DLCs included, new map called Providence Ridge, some new bases, heavy weapons, revamped tutorial, and graphical improvements.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys we all did play it this week.
Yes.
How was it?
DJ and I, we played together for a little bit.
Me and Yogomi didn't play that much, so me and Yogomi will go first, and then we'll go Bobo, because Bobo knows way more about this game than us.
Because I played some before you and I played. I played before you and I played together, and I would say it is good. And we're talking. Wait, what's the first thing we're talking about?
We'll talk about story, but I mean, I'm just saying in general. This is just like in general. How do you felt about it?
I would say it was good. Almost great. Good, almost great. Which when I looked at the ratings too this week, kind of makes me understand why it does have the rating it does, because it's sort of the rating that I would have probably given it. Yeah. Even though it has been out for a while and they've added this DLC, which I would say it's good. There was some problems that I had with the game that weren't necessarily gameplay related. It was just some visual things I didn't really like that I thought were kind of lazy and stuff like that. But yeah,
it definitely felt like they did not sand the edges.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
got a couple splinters. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I was trying to find what the budget was for it. I was trying to see if they, maybe they didn't have the money to spend on some certain things, but I wasn't a big fan of the voice acting in certain situations. So the voice acting wasn't bad. It was just that there were certain times where there should have been a sense of urgency, and the voice acting didn't convey that. Yeah. It's just like they just kind of read the line like this, and like we're being surrounded by 5 zombies. You sound very calm right now, like, hey, you probably should take that zombie out. He's about to kill you. You know what I mean? It was just like, certain things like that I think there were some details that should have been paid attention to.
Yeah. How'd you like it, Bobo?
So I beat the main game, right? So a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the new DLC, and it's not fun when you play alone.
All right.
So you get your butt kicked. So on the new zombie and things.
Yeah.
And you die so fast. And you play the new DLC, you need to play with your friend or something.
Play with a friend or something. That's
fair. It's not fun when you play alone. Yeah.
It definitely seems like a party game.
Yeah.
Like a game that, like, when me and Yogami played together, it was like, I remember playing it by myself, and not very many other people were playing, because when I first played it, it was like super early access. Like, they gave us like a month before the game actually came out, and they were like, "Yo, just go have fun with it." And I was like, "Oh, this is great." So I was streaming it, we were killing it, but like nobody else could play with me, except for other streamers. Right. And I didn't reach out to anybody. I was like, I'm just gonna vibe it and see what happens. And it's fun, but
yeah, it's a fun game. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not a survival type player though. Like I don't. Yeah. I'm like, hey, go get some. We need, I don't know, anything, dude. Like we need food. Oh, I gotta go find food. Okay, I'm gonna drive over here, go get food. I get back and they're like, oh, we used all the ammo. You're like, oh gosh. So now I gotta get ammo. By the time you get back, oh, you need more food. You're like, what the freak, bro? Like, can you guys just not for a second go do something on your own?
Right.
So, story. How do you guys like how the story goes? I know me and Yogami didn't play a ton of it, but we got some of the story. It's just go here, do this, go here, do that.
Yeah.
It's an open world story, so I mean, that's how they go. But I've played better ones.
Yeah, I played better ones. I'm still sticking with good on this.
Yeah, good for story. What are you feeling, Bubba?
Yeah, I mean, you had it all. All you got yeah.
Go over here and free this camp. You're like, oh, here we go. Do you want to make this a base? You're like, I guess. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what about gameplay then?
So, the gameplay for me, I didn't really have a problem with the gameplay. I would give the gameplay a great, right? Because the mechanics part of it wasn't really the problem, right? Like doing what you had to do and doing the things, driving the cars, like the whole thing where you drive the car and you could open the door and take, there's some really cool things like that. Finding the weapons. The gameplay, I think, wasn't that bad, and I'll give it a great. I think what doesn't make it great was your purpose in the game, But I thought the gameplay looked pretty good. It felt pretty good. There were some control issues that I had, and there's some cutscene stuff that I watched that like you said, it's like they kind of didn't polish it. There were some things that I thought could have been cleaner and neater, just from the cutscenes of the animation and things like that. And that's why I was like, I don't know, maybe they didn't have a great big budget or something like that on this game, but I don't know.
Yeah. I enjoyed the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I felt like driving was lower than GTA driving.
Yes.
Which GTA driving is not that complicated.
Nah.
I mean, unless you start doing like the stunt races like we used to do when you're trying to do like tubes and stuff. That's a different story.
Yeah, that's totally different. Yeah.
But I feel like they could have gone another level up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like they were it does, like how you say, like the budget, like it feels like they were being held back something,
restrained by something. Yeah, or maybe I don't know if it was the budget or maybe they just didn't have the know-how or the artist, to do it. But there was just some things missing. I mean, you got to look at the other games out there, right? So, for example, you said GTA. GTA is a third-person game, right? But then you look at games like Tomb Raider, look at Uncharted, Last of Us. Look at games like what's that game? The big guy, the bald guy with the axe. I forget.
They said Hitman. But
No. But Hitman, even Hitman, you have all these. What is that game? The game with the game
there.
The big.
I got from you is big guy
Sinuous Sacrifice is another one. But the guy, the old guy, and he has a little boy in the new one now, and he has the axe that he throws.
PlayStation.
Yeah. So. What is
God of War?
God of War, yeah. So you have all these.
I was not going to that far.
Yeah.
I was sitting there looking like at the surface level. I was not going for deep games.
It's just that you look at all these third-person games, right, that are out there that have amazing graphics and the animation and the movement and everything is there. And these are games like the first Uncharted came out years ago. You know what I mean? So it's not like the technology is there and the artists aren't there. Maybe they just didn't have the budget to have both or something like that.
Or because somebody that they're missing somebody.
They're missing somebody
that's not filling the team.
Yeah,
making it complete.
And sometimes people don't. There's also something that you have to consider. Sometimes just as a person. As the same with a person, it could be with a group. Maybe they just don't have the eye for those kind of things. You know what I mean? They don't see that it's lacking in this area, or maybe they're very, very proud of this game and they're putting it out, but they don't see certain things that everybody sees. Everybody's a critic, so obviously we are critics. So
one of my guesses too, it came out in 2018, right? I know Game Pass. That was about the same time Game Pass was like blowing up. Because remember that was one of the things they announced, like with Game
True.
Pass, like coming out day one on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that might have been part of the thing too. So I think like they couldn't delay it.
Right.
And just not until just like what, like end of 2019 is when it like became like, I want to say okay or acceptable. It became acceptable for developers to delay games.
Right. That's true.
And now it's like everybody's like, oh, because what do I call it? The crunch. I don't know if you guys have seen all these stories. Everyone's talking about all this crunch stories,
the crunch,
like all these different devs doing crunches and everything.
Kind of last minute.
And I want to say too, like I mean, that could have been part of the thing, right? The game just had to come out.
Right. But just to put things in perspective, right? Uncharted, the very first Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, came out in 2007. 2007.
Really good game.
And it's a really good game. The graphics, I didn't really have so much a problem with the graphics, to be honest with you. I really didn't.
Yeah.
The graphics really weren't bad. It was just there's just like the gameplay and the movement and the controls and just seems like it's just like you said, just had some splinters, which just wasn't polished, you know.
Yeah. What about replayability?
So this is where I may be a surprise for you though, after everything I've said.
I mean that game has the most replayability out of any game we've played.
Yeah.
So it has to be almost an amazing on that.
Yeah, it's definitely amazing.
Kind of a burden, the replayability, right? It is
Yeah.
a burden, and maybe like you could say not my game, but at the same time, it's like it is there. Like if you're feeling this game, you're playing it.
Yeah, I would say great for me because even after everything that I said and all the problems that I have with it, I still feel inclined to go back and play it some more. Right, like this very second I did.
It's like just like.
Yeah.
I think I lagged right there. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of lag. I was like, I just heard like scatters, but like just using cars, man. I just want to go in there and just drive around in a car and just kill everything. Like that alone was like the great part of the game. Yeah. Did you watch the Bobo when I played it the first time? Were you watching the stream?
I played her, yeah.
Did you play with me that first day?
Yeah.
And we just drove around in a car. Like after we got a car, we bought all the upgrades for it, and we just we're like, let's go kill everything.
Yep.
Okay, I remember that. It was good times, man.
Yeah.
So it's there. It's like coming back in. I was like, yo, this is still fun.
Yeah. I didn't. And don't get me wrong. I don't dislike the game. It's just that at this point in time in 2020, it's just I expected better. You know.
When I wrote the notes, I forgot to say this too, but we forgot to write graphics. How you guys felt about graphics?
So like I said earlier,
but that's an important one.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the graphics I didn't really have a problem with because you know, I think for me it could have been just better animation. Better animation and the controls that would have sealed the deal for me. But
I regret to inform you that I forgot to turn on my 144 hertz, or not 140, my 60 hertz and 4K HDR when I played that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when you turn it on, I don't know why, but Rocket League looks terrible on Xbox. The 4K, when you turn the HDR on,
it looks
I don't
better?
know why. No, it looks terrible.
Oh, it looks terrible, really?
Yeah, it like clouds out, and you look, and like everybody's having the same problem. They're like sometimes your monitor like isn't doing true 4K, and that really affects it.
Huh.
And you're like, and so there's just a weird translation error.
Interesting.
So, but I would assume that State of Decay would look amazing. When we played Ori, I turned it on, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, Ori's. I mean, that game looks good just on my Xbox S. So. Yeah.
How'd you feel about the graphics, Bobo?
It's not that good. Not that
good enough.
Not that bad. Good enough.
Yeah.
For a hobby game, yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
For a loot and shoot, drive around and survive zombie game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where most of the time you just run around with an axe,
Yeah.
a knife. That's what I did for that, like the longest time until we picked up guns. I just run up and I was like stabbing them.
But
you jump on them and then stab their head and it explodes. So it's cool.
But there is something to say for the strategy of why you have to do the things that you have to do, right? Because you have to be thinking and you got to be strategic. It isn't just shoot 'em up and just a looter. You do have to. Yeah. You do have to do these things to survive and to keep. And you know, there's all these other things like having people trust you and then promoting people. There is actually quite a bunch of details that I felt like I'm leaving out. You know, promoting people, having people trust you, taking on certain roles, giving people certain roles, figuring out some people are just not pulling their weight, so let's get rid of them, or just let them die, you know, or you know, bringing in. So there is so much more to the game. I feel bad that we're kind of leaving out, but it's, do you want to do all that stuff? You know, it's a matter of, is that some people, that's their type of game. Some people, it's their type of game. That's what their type of game is. You know, it's sort of that RPG vibe, you know, but you know, and I can see a lot of people getting, I'm guarantee there's a lot of people getting deep into those, you know, I just don't think it's my style of game. It's just, you know,
that's fair.
Which is weird. I say that, but I'm grinding to get my level up in Destiny. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing all these things to get my, you know, it's weird. I don't know. That just feels different, but
it's what you link with, right? Like your game. Yeah. Everybody has their game. Like, some people don't like Division and they still talk bad about it, but I'm actually like really enjoying.
I love Division.
I'm enjoying the grind. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a good game.
And I'm like, oh man, I want to get this better. I want this better. But so I can totally understand people are like, I want to be able to have the coolest base and bases all over the place and save the world from zombies.
It's true. It's true. I've seen people do it. I've watched people stream it for hours. So, yeah.
So, what's your guys' verdict? Overall rating?
Overall, good for me.
I give it a great.
Great.
I'm gonna sit with good as well. I don't want to say not my game because there is the part where like I get on there and I'm like, yo, this is fun.
Same.
I'm like,
same.
I'm probably not gonna come back.
Like I said, I am inclined to go back and play it some more. If that tells you anything. So like,
I don't know if I'll go back. I mean, maybe if when you guys are all on and you guys are like, DJ, just get on, do it. I'm like,
so it's a good game and you play when you're playing.
Yeah. Play with your friends for sure.
Yo, let's all go jump in the car. Let's go run over some zombies and open the door and slam them with the door. Like, that's what's up. That's such a funny freaking thing, though, dude.
It is. The first time I saw that.
Clap somebody with it.
Yeah, I laughed so hard. I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's a thing.
Yay. It's a good game.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
It is a game.
Yeah.
And people put a lot of time into it. I don't want to badmouth anyone's games. It was really fun, actually.
Yeah.
So next week's game, we discussed right before this. It looks like we're going to be playing Ace Combat 7. It's an airplane game. Nice. Clap. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited for that.
I'm a big fan of the Ace Combat franchise, so I'm looking forward to this.
Can I play with you guys or not to play by myself?
I think you can't. Is it single? The campaign is single mode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't do. There's a multiplayer, right? Isn't there?
Yeah,
multiplayer?
But if I go get on that right now, I'm gonna get in there and just get slapped.
Yeah, you will get slapped in multiplayer. You have to be playing it for a while. I remember even after as much as I played it before I think it was 4 or 5. One of them, I was getting my butt handed to me when I got into multiplayer. So it's definitely different than playing the campaign. It's definitely feels totally different. Yeah, but the campaign is awesome.
Well, I'm gonna try to get into that. Maybe it ends up being my game. I don't know. Maybe I love it.
Never know. I like it a lot. I do. I like it a lot.
I like to play it with Top Gun.
Top Gun.
You got the songs playing?
Yeah.
Some Kitty Loggins.
Yeah, me.
I was vibing that. Sweet. So yeah. If you guys want to join with us, make sure you guys do. If you guys have things to say about the game, let us know. Send us comments, whatever, On the website, there actually is a really easy to use comment section on the website. So,
yeah, there is. Absolutely is.
If you guys want to add them on there, let us give it a try. Go ahead.
You can do it in Discord, too.
Oh, you can say stuff in
Discord. And then people can join.
Oh, Discord?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put the. Oh, I know what you're saying. Oh, so like put the link on the website.
Link on the website.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do here in a second.
I'll also I'll start putting in. I didn't even think about this. I think I'll start putting it into the info too for the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't been doing that either.
Yeah.
Maybe because we don't really have anything in the Discord yet.
But yeah, we get people in there. They won't have.
I mean, I built like enough of it, so we'll make it work. So new to Xbox this week. These games all come out on the 24th. We got Freedom Finger, Moons of Madness, Bleeding Edge, Element Space. I'm tempted to go try this one. Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Dude, you know what? Some of those games, they're really fun. Yeah, War Tile and Deep Sky Derelicts. On March 26th, got Airfell, Borderlands 3, Guns, Love, and Tentacles.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that a couple of podcasts ago.
Yeah, PAX East. Mechorama, and these are on the 27th. You got Gigantosaurus, the game. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, Enops, and Children of Zodiarcs. And then the Complex comes out on the 31st.
Yeah.
And new to Game Pass this week, Bleeding Edge. I'll say it again. So wait, Bleeding Edge comes out a week early if you're on Game Pass? I'm confused. Sure. We'll say yeah. Okay. No. That's the beta. That's the 19th. That's the beta. The 19th. Yeah, it comes out. It comes out on the 24th. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What did I type? Power Rangers Battle for the Grid on the 26th. The Surge 2. Kona and Ace Combat 7. And then pretty much the same things on PC except for Ace Combat 7 and the Surge 2 and Kona are all out already. And then all those on PC, not all of those, but Bleeding Edge and Power Rangers and the Surge, and then there's another one on PC coming out called Astrologaster. I don't know. Yo, have you seen that Power Rangers game though, Yogomi?
I haven't.
Bobo played it.
Really?
It's a Power Ranger fighting game.
Really?
Yeah. It looks cool. I'll probably get it downloaded just to play it. I'm sure it'll be a Game Pass quest or something like that at some point. But yeah. So let's give you guys your shout outs. Where can we find you?
Oh, I am Yogomi, mixer.com/Yogomi, YOGOMI. Instagram is Yogomi, YOGOMI. My Facebook and Twitter are Yogomi HQ, as in headquarters. I also have a Yogomi.com website and YouTube.com/Yogomi as well. You just search Yogomi. It's all YOGOMI. It's all going to come up. So look for that. Yeah. And then obviously you can find me here with Zyba Games.
Hey, Bobo, what do you got?
You can find me on Twitch.tv, BoboDaClown. And you can find me on Fire, BoboDCLWN.
W? 2 W's.
No, more W.
1 W. Oh, my bad. And then I'm DeeJayHerro. You can just find me on Mixer. Just call it there and here. I mean, the other things are there, but you know me. I'm all over the place. Make sure you guys, if you guys have made it this far in the podcast, we love your faces. Make sure you guys check out us on YouTube. Make sure you check out the website. Like, comment, subscribe, do everything you can on all the different podcast platforms. We love you all, and thank you guys so much for coming to this week's episode of the Zyba Game.
It's fun, guys, as always.
So yeah, thanks so much, guys.
We'll see you guys
next week. Love you.
Bye.